stranger. Hey, you know how long I see you? How you going? I'm good, how are you? Not sounding like you're going good. What's going on? Well, I'm going through a little flare up right now, so I'll have a feeling kind of down. Oh, I really find it flare out a little bit there. What? What? Oh, I said a flare up, which is just increase in the symptoms I usually get. Oh. Well, I was watching your belly now. I thought you was pregnant. Yes, I am. And it's for your husband. By the way, just remind him next week is the ultrasound appointment. What? What? Hello, chronic illness warriors. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Janine and I make lifestyle videos for Black women living with chronic illnesses like me. So I know it's been a minute, a day, week, or more like months, because I have been suffering through a flare-up for the past 2 months. What is a flare-up, you ask? Have I suddenly gotten hotter? Well, hotter than I am normally. No, what it means is that the symptoms that I live with normally with fibromyalgia have gotten worse. If you want to know what those symptoms are, click the card above to get more information on what those symptoms are. A flare-up can happen without any cause. Flare-up is temporary and it could last from a couple of days to weeks, or in my case months. So like I said, I've been suffering with one for about 2 months now, and in some cases there mightn't be anything at all that could have triggered it. But in this video, we're going to go through some of the causes and the symptoms and the treatment options for flare-ups. So what is a flare-up? A flare-up, as I said, is just a temporary increase in symptoms that I already experienced with fibromyalgia. Since I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I have put the way that I feel into 2 categories: normal pain and flare-up pain. With normal pain is there, I can feel it there, but it's dull and latent and it doesn't affect my daily activities. I might feel it if I bend down to pick up something, or I walk for too long, or exert myself more than I should. But when I settle down, it's back to normal. That is now my new normal. There will always be pain, I'll always be experiencing pain, but it's not so bad as to affect my daily life. However, during a flare-up, the pain is like a million times worse. So what causes a flare-up? For me, the main cause of a flare-up is if I push myself harder than I should. On my normal days, when I have normal pain, I will try to do as much as I could, because I know that a feeling is just temporary. But in doing so, when I exert myself more than I should, my body ends up crashing. And the crash lasts from a few hours to months. Sometimes even during a flare-up, I will push myself like what I've been doing for the past 2 or 3 months. And now we're coming into the Christmas season, so of course I want to try to do as much as I could before Christmas. So on the days when the pain is not so normal, but it's not really affecting my movement, I would push my body despite the pain to get things done. That leads to a bad flare-up. And I'll take a longer time to recover from that than if I had just tried to pace myself. Next major cause of a flare-up is stress. So we can't avoid stress in our lives. Life is stressful. If it wasn't, it would be boring, right? If you're experiencing a stressful situation at work or at home, in your relationships, this will cause the fibromyalgia symptoms to flare up. Because remember, as I spoke about in my video about what fibromyalgia is, which you can click this card to see it. When you're under stress, your body releases more adrenaline and cortisol than normal. These 2 hormones will affect your body physically and emotionally. And remember, fibromyalgia is a disorder of the central nervous system. Your body is flooded with these hormones. They will affect the central nervous system, therefore causing a flare-up. Another cause of flare-ups is your diet. Certain foods like sugar, flour, wheat, dairy cause excess inflammation in the body, and inflammation causes pain. If you've been consuming a lot of these foods over a period of time, it will cause excess inflammation, which will lead to excess pain, which will then lead to a flare-up. Another cause of flare-ups is lack of sleep or insomnia. In my case, I am able to fall asleep quickly, but I don't stay asleep. There are some nights I might be waking up every hour or every 2 hours, which of course will reduce the amount of sleep that I get, and this will cause flare-ups to happen. Lack of sleep will affect the way your body processes information, and the information of course needs to be processed in the brain. So once anything with the central nervous system is affected, it will cause the fibromyalgia to act up. Another cause of flare-ups is infection, like a flu or a virus or the cold. Any type of infection in your body already compromises your central nervous system and your immune system. Since our central nervous system and immune system are already compromised by fibromyalgia, any added infection will just cause all the fibromyalgia symptoms to get even worse and flare up. Let's talk about the symptoms of a flare up. The main one is increased pain, especially in the trigger point. In addition to a lot of pain, sometimes it feels as though your body is on fire. I guess that's why they call it a flare up. Recently, I started getting pain on the soles of my feet. So when I walk, I feel as if I'm walking on hot coals. I mean, I've never walked on hot coals before, but I would imagine that kind of pain that I feel is close enough. The burning feeling that I just mentioned is not just in your muscles, you also feel it in your skin. So any light touch on your skin would feel like if it's burning. And this is something called allodynia. I hope I said it correctly, which I'll talk about in another video. If you want me to talk about allodynia, you can put that in the comments below and I'll do a video talking about it. Another major symptom of a flare-up is extreme fatigue. Now this is not the normal fatigue that you feel at the end of a busy day or a good day. This is just complete overwhelming fatigue, where you feel like you can't move anything. Every step you take feels as if you're trying to wade through water. Because the pain is increased during a flare-up, your body is fighting extra hard to make itself feel better and to overcome the pain. So in doing that now, it will feel even more tired and more fatigued than normal. I also get a lot of headaches during a flare-up. I wouldn't call them migraines, but I do get a lot of bad headaches during a flare-up. And headaches, of course, is one of the symptoms of fibromyalgia. Another symptom that I experience is swollen lymph nodes right around this area here. And of course, they hurt to the touch. They actually feel swollen. This causes me to get a sore throat. So before I was diagnosed, I used to be getting that sore throat a lot. And I always thought that it was just a symptom of a cold that I could just never recover from. But now I realize that that now is part of a flare-up. And I think that the swollen lymph nodes is more a symptom of chronic fatigue syndrome than fibromyalgia. I have to do a little more research on that. And once I find out, I'll do a video about that. Last but certainly not least is irritable bowel syndrome or IBS. Did I mention that I'm going through a flare-up right now? Well, I am. And for the past 2 weeks, I have been getting a lot of stomach trouble. Right now, anything that I eat causes me to rush to the toilet. Sorry to get gross on you guys, but this is all part of it. So I have a lot of diarrhea and constipation. Now imagine having that at the same time with cramps. And I have all of that going on in addition to all the other symptoms that I mentioned earlier. Not to mention bloating. Bloating is just horrible. And because of the bloating, it causes a lot of people to think that I'm pregnant. Like, no, I'm just fat. IBS is now the latest addition to my flare-ups. What can we do to get some relief from these flare-ups. Honestly, there isn't any specific treatment you could use. You could avoid some of the triggers that I spoke about. That way you could avoid getting a flare-up in the first place. But if you're in one, and to be very honest guys, I think that it's inevitable. Sometimes you don't have to do anything and you get a flare-up. So how do we deal with it? Well, get lots of rest, try to minimize your stress as much as possible. So even if it means like meditating 5 minutes a day, and you can use whatever practice you're comfortable with, like prayers, rosary, or mindfulness, restorative yoga, anything that you can use to calm your mind and to reduce the stress levels, you can do that. So I have been meditating, not as much as I should, almost every day for about 20 minutes when I get home from work. Because of course when you come home from work, you're the most stressed because the day is over and you just had to deal with all kinds of different situations. So that is a good way to reduce your stress. You mentioned certain foods that could trigger a flare-up. So you have to try to avoid eating foods with sugar, salt, dairy, gluten. Try avoiding these foods so that they wouldn't increase the inflammation in your body, which will trigger more pain. Even though I mentioned gluten-free foods, when I'm experiencing a lot of cramps, I eat crackers like Cricks or Dixie biscuits. It's the only thing I could eat that wouldn't cause any irritation in my stomach. That being said, I really want to change my diet and incorporate more cleaner foods. Hearing about clean eating, so I want to learn more about that and try to incorporate that into my diet. I've also started keeping a log of when I have flare-ups, so in that way I could track what exactly are causing them. So of course I could avoid certain triggers to avoid getting a flare-up in the first place. And lastly, don't push yourself when you're going through a flare-up. In my case, I still have to work full-time and get chores done around the house, and in many instances I mightn't have help around the house to get certain things done. So I might be tempted to push myself through the pain, but that's not a good idea at all because you're just prolonging the flare-up. And the point is to get out of the flare-up eventually. So do not push yourself, don't push your body. Try to get as much rest as possible. And if you have to do certain things, pace yourself. Take short breaks in between. If you want to get more tips on how to deal with chronic illness on a whole, you can click on this card here to see tips on how to navigate your daily life with a chronic illness. If you made it this far in the video, thank you very much for staying with me. I appreciate all the support and encouragement I've received for this channel, and that will just keep me making more videos. However, seeing that I am going through this very long flare-up, which seems to have no end, I won't be able to make videos as frequently as I would like to. The aim was to create videos every week, but of course that just didn't happen. Mentally I wanted to do it, but my body was like, nah, no, no. We didn't discuss this, so no. So I basically have to work with how I'm feeling and how my body is feeling. So once I follow these tips that I just laid out there, I'm hoping to recover soon enough, and I will take it easy. I will pace myself so that I can get more content out there. I also do have a full-time job, which also makes it difficult to keep a tight schedule on making videos. But ideally, I really want to aim for 2 videos a month. So a video every other week. And if I don't release a video as regularly as I would like to, I still put up stories on my Instagram. So you could check me out on Instagram there to check out my stories and posts. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I release a new video. So comment below if there are any other tips you have on how to deal with a flare-up or how to avoid triggers. If I left out anything, please let me know, and I will see you next time, hopefully next week or in 2 weeks time. Bye.